The ingestion or use of a human body, whether it is dead or living, to alleviate illness is known as medical cannibalism. Mummies were used for medical purposes in ancient Egypt, possibly marking the beginning of cannibalism. Many Europeans, including royalty, priests, and scientists, routinely ingested remedies containing human bones, blood, and fat as medicine for everything from headaches to epilepsy for several hundred years, peaking in the 16th and 17th centuries, according to a book by Richard Sugg titled Mummies, Cannibals, and Vampires. The powerful influence of European science, literature, trade networks, and educated theory was exploited in medicinal cannibalism. Although corpse medicine has been depicted as a medieval cure, its heyday was in early modern Britain during the social and scientific revolutions. It lasted long into the 18th century and persisted tenaciously among the underprivileged until the reign of Queen Victoria. Human remains were regarded as powerful because it was believed that they contained the spirit of the body from which they were taken. Spirit was viewed as a very genuine component of biology that connected the physical body to the soul. Blood was very potent in this situation. Rich and poor alike have used mumia, a medicine made from the remains of mummies brought back to Europe from Egyptian tombs, for ages. Mumia was a commodity sold at apothecaries' stores. Particularly fat was used on external wounds. Bandages were applied after being soaked in fat by doctors. In order to relieve pain, fat was also applied to aches and wounds. Even the usnea lichen, which forms on top of a human skull, was coveted and was reputed to stop nosebleeds. The British royal family has a long-standing reputation for enjoying opulent feasts and decadent cuisine. Less well known, however, is the fact that the British royal family also enjoyed eating human flesh. The royals applied, drank, or wore powdered Egyptian mummy, human fat, flesh, bone, blood, brains, and skin despite condemning the barbarous cannibals of the New World. In addition to the mummies, skulls from Irish tombs were frequently removed. Otherwise, the bodies of destitute people and criminals were frequently used. In order to treat neurological problems, doctors frequently used human skulls up to 1909. England's King Charles II is believed to have taken medication produced from human skulls after having a seizure. His corpse medicine was a mixture of powdered human skull and alcohol. Since doctors said mumia was formed from pharaohs, eating mummies felt like a royally acceptable treatment to the royal and social elite. Royals ate other royals. James I refused to take corpse medicine, Charles II made his own in his lab, and Charles I was turned into corpse medicine. Francis I, John Bannister, Elizabeth Grey, Countess of Kent, Robert Boyle, Thomas Willis, William III, and Queen Mary were notable users of corpse medicine. Mummies were no longer used as medicine in the 19th century, but Victorians continued to hold unwrapping parties, where Egyptian corpses were unwrapped for entertainment at private gatherings. Mummies were now exciting rather than therapeutic. An entertaining dinner host who could unwrap presents in front of guests was wealthy enough to afford a real mummy. People flocked to these unwrappings whether they were taking place in a private house or the theater of a learned society because of the pleasure of seeing desiccated flesh and bones show as bandages came off. Strong beverages made audiences boisterous and enthusiastic. As the 20th century dawned, mummy unveiling festivities came to an end. The macabre sensations were out of place, and it seemed terrible that archaeological ruins will inevitably be destroyed. Egyptologist John J. Johnston held the first mummy unwrapping in public since 1908 in 2016. Johnston produced an immersive replica of what it was like to be present at a Victorian unwrapping that was equal parts art, science, and show. Everything about it was as awful as it could be, from the participants being served straight gin to the Bangles walk like an Egyptian playing over the loudspeakers. Today, no respectable archaeologist would open a mummy, and no doctor would advise eating one. But the mummy's allure is still very alluring. They are still a commodity, still on sale, and still being abused. Don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to this channel.